This episode of Shootin The Strings is proudly brought to you by the Guitar Colonel. For the best vintage and used guitars in Australia, visit www.guitarcolonel.com. Now it's time for your favorite megastars, Sir Nigel and the Colonel.
Sir Nigel,
well,
hello, sir.
Wow, isn't it wonderful to be back in the studio?
It is nice.
Here we are, and I didn't think this was ever going to happen again. And we've got 2 COVID cases loose in Melbourne at the moment, so...
do we? Was that the numbers today?
2 from yesterday. The bloke who was unlucky enough to go to Sydney and come back, but
yes.
Shooting the Strings continues.
Is back. Now, Sir Nigel.
Episode 140. What's going on?
Can you turn your guitar back one little bit? I just want to see if that makes a difference.
No, I don't have any... no.
That's okay.
I've got nothing.
I can hear a little bit of
the people will have detected. Welcome
noise.
If you're on board this morning. Sorry we're a bit late. Massive technical issues because we'd forgotten how to make everything work.
Panda.
After 2 months away.
Come up here.
Know how to make the dog work, but she's getting a bit old now. And she's going to need a lift up.
Come on, Panda, quick. Let's go.
And we are back on amplifiers, everyone. So sorry about the hum in the background. It's worth it. Trust me, in the end, some Fender brilliance.
Hard to hear it if you're out there. I've been pretty good, Sir Nigel. We've been very, very busy. So I'll just monitor everything. That looks pretty good.
Yeah,
very busy.
I've been watching the Instagram is the new thing, isn't it? Guitar on Instagram. Come into the shop to have a look. It's gone already.
We are having a crazy, crazy week, and next week I'm going to Queensland.
So next week's story is stranded in Queensland, folks. So
it's definitely a possibility, and I could think of worse places to be stranded.
Exactly.
But
warmer than this one, that's for sure.
Now, what's been going on in the world of Sir Nigel?
So much, a bit of lockdown, done a bit of practice. I hope everyone out there that has used this lockdown last couple of weeks for getting in front of their guitars, those kind of things. But look, I think the psychology of lockdown is such that they all blend together after a period of time. So I still think I'm in 2020 lockdown in the middle of the winter, and I've lost track of things and all that. So I was set to go to New Zealand for a week, visit the family, and may you have more luck with your travel, Colonel. I was right here in Port Melbourne, South Melbourne. I drew the lucky straw of a flyby with Mr. Covid from the King's Apartments at Bunnings.
Oh my God!
Banning me from international travel.
Well, come up to sunny Queensland, although it looks like rain, and do a show from there. Now we have a new segment. I haven't told you about this.
Okay, well look, this is a whole new show. We're reinventing it here.
And the new segment is called. Hang on, let me get my
special effects, please, director.
The new segment is Dear Colonel, and that's where you write in and tell me your problems. You can ask Sir Nigel a question. It can be music related, personal related. I have one that's come in.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so it's somewhere between sort of Agony Aunt and Stump the Colonel with a really obscure kind of thing. Is this where you have to reach over and put on the age warning?
Here we go. You ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Dear Colonel, our first message comes from Barnaby in Fishwick, ACT. Do you know where Fishwick is?
I do. Been to Fishwick. Great bike shop there.
Great bike shop. There's other things there that Barnaby probably likes. And Barnaby asks, is it wrong to have a work romance? Is it wrong to have a work romance?
Right, that's a tough one. And what does the Colonel say?
Well, I haven't worked in an office in a while. So I'm going to throw to you, Sir Nigel. What would you recommend? Barnaby, he's in Canberra.
Yes.
Is it wrong or... I guess it depends what you're doing.
There's so many rules of thumb here. Like the classic, I was always taught, I think I was like age about 21 working in New Zealand, went to work in the government, and I was told quite explicitly at induction, rule 1, don't screw the crew.
Okay, and there you have it. So Barnaby, if you're watching, Sir Nigel says probably not.
No, not good.
Now, so Nigel, we have a couple of people who have joined us, and then I might chuck over to you and we'll see what the theme is.
I'm overflowing with interesting musical facts today, so we must remember to get to guitars at some stage.
At some stage, yes.
Because we have chosen some beautiful guitars to play today.
We haven't been on for a while, and there's heaps of new gear in.
Yeah, they are left in the store. But who's online this morning? Who bravely hung around for 10 minutes thinking, are they on or are they not on?
We have a Michael Ray.
Oh, that's
is on.
Fabulous to see you, Michael. I hope health has been good.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Another letter's come in, has it?
Another letter's come in.
Oh, fantastic. Already, so quickly.
Dear Colonel, from a David Ray in New South Wales, southern New South Wales. He says, Michael is the walrus. You know what that means?
I am the walrus, I am the Eggman.
Well, here's what I think.
Hoo-coo-ee-coo.
You know what that means? Remember that Paul McCartney was apparently
a double,
a deceased Paul McCartney, and the lyrics of the Beatles song, The Walrus, I think, sort of said the walrus is Paul. Now David is saying the walrus is Michael Ray.
Right age, could be.
In the zone. So Nigel, take it away. So what are we doing?
Well, I thought we'd celebrate being out of lockdown today with a general show, because we're always looking for new story arcs. So if you've got an idea out there, we'd love to hear it.
Yes.
I've been very reflective and philosophical about it in the last period of time, and I saw this brilliant quote that I thought kind of was good for us if we were going to have quotes behind us instead of rock and roll logos.
Yes.
This is very philosophical, Colonel.
Okay.
So it's from remember the Basquiat Keith Haring exhibition at the Melbourne National Gallery. Did you get to that? No, you have a child. Anyway,
I wanted to go to that.
It's so in our timeline of the 60s and 70s and 80s,
Totally.
and real massive crossover with the rock community, Derry Harry, all those kind of things.
Yes.
Anyway, he had a quote in there that art is how we decorate space.
Oh, okay.
Music is how we decorate time.
Oh.
I thought that was so appropriate, because we've had this time warp in the last period of time, as we're kind of, geez, is it October 2020? Is it June 2021? I can't remember. So in this time warp, we can kind of get to that sort of time warps of music, and we love historical music, all those kind of things we do. And so look, there's a lot happening in the news. Sad news about Mark Hoppus.
Yes.
Not a guitarist, he's a bass player, but we'll call him part of the team.
He's a singer. He writes some of their music as well. Is that right?
Bass player, singer, writer, and as all of those lovely, that Blink-182 generation, they're 50.
Yeah.
Them's the facts, folks. He's 50.
What sort of... So he has
fighting cancer of some description.
Description. Oh, that's terrible.
So we should do a song for him today.
We should. We'll play some guitars. And
public health warning from the Colonel. I think, testicular cancer, all the simple ones that are a bit embarrassing to talk about.
Yeah.
Check your balls, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Sort it out.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid.
Go see Dr. Rick.
Yeah.
Out in the eastern suburbs.
Dr. Rick was in here the other day, I noted. Well, I know what he's been doing in lockdown is playing his guitar.
He's been woodshedding. Yeah, he's a woodshedder. He's amazing.
Yeah,
wow. We love you, Dr. Rick. Now, so Nigel, we have got some guitars in this shop, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone crazy bananas.
I've chosen my crazy favourite.
What have you got there? You've got a
I have
Fender
chosen.
12.
People won't have seen this.
Yes.
So this is a Japan-built 12-string Stratocaster. Now it's rare.
Yeah.
Just go yourself on that reverb thing and try and find one of these. They're not easy to find, and you will not find one in new old stock condition. What year is it from, Colonel?
I'll tell you what, if you turn it around, so it's a crafted in Japan Q serial. That's early 2000s.
Right, so crafted in Japan is different to made in Japan, isn't it?
Yes, so here's, if you are bamboozled by the whole Japanese Fender stuff, it started with made in Japan, and then in the 90s it switched to crafted in Japan.
Yep.
And that went all the way...
96, I believe.
That's correct, very good, sir. And it went all the way through to like 2010 or something, and then they switched back to made in Japan. But the modern made in Japan's it's like it's bold typeface. So
okay.
That's how you tell.
This is magnificent, and so I'm not going to play it for long, because I set it up and
Let's play some. You pick a chord progression, and I'll play something over it. This is
what I discovered in taking it home.
Yes, sir.
Is I can't. This is more guitar than I can justify. I can't play it. The sound out of it is something ethereal. It's like having every pedal in the reverb and echo range built into your guitar.
I love the sound of a 12-string. I just don't like to play them. I like when other people play. It feels very cramped to me.
I'm being rude, Ken. What have you chosen as your first guitar there? It's just a plain old Fender.
This is a plain old Fender. This is a 55 limited edition. It's an anniversary custom shop Telecaster.
Oh, so not
55.
really plain old at all, is it?
No, it kind of looks a bit aged. But it's got the 54 U neck on it, special pickups for this model. This one came out, they only came out in 2017.
Yeah.
So it's got special 55 pickups in it.
Well, it's timely you've chosen the custom shop Fender, because one of the things I wanted to talk about today was the rise of the artist guitar.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, the internet is alive this last couple of weeks with Joe Bonamassa's recreation of his 1951 Nocaster.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Sir Nigel.
Yeah, sure. Okay, questions away.
Sir Nigel, how much more, I'm phrasing this weirdly, expensive will Fenders become? Because the Joe Bonamassa signature Nocaster? What sort of retail did you say?
$8.5 grand. And so what we're seeing is the collector's choice impact here.
Yes.
So that Gibson nailed it with, you've had a couple of collector's choices.
Yes.
What have you had?
I've had Minnesota.
Yep. Donna.
I've had Donna.
Our mate Alan.
He's had Donna as well.
He's snaffled
she's so naughty.
Very sensible. Which of course Paul D spotted, like the international collector of intrigue that he is.
Well, Paul D owns the Beast, the Bernie Marsden Collector's Choice, and I have played that, and that's a good one as well. I've had the Mick Ralphs 58. There's a lot. And then the signature Les Pauls, your Joe Walsh, your Don Felder, all that sort of stuff has come through. We have a Jimmy Page here.
This is a golden era, I'm thinking. Like the collector's choice, like we talk about what guitars would we have loved to have collected from years ago, and now the emergence of artist guitars. Those collector's choice, and this Fender's on it. Fender's given it a go.
That is a truckload of dough to fork out
for a
Telecaster. That's unbelievable.
Brand spanking new, sold out.
Sold out
in
already
3 hours.
What? How many did they make?
100.
God. All right. Well, 100. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And then they'll do
until they do the next 100 accordingly. But yeah, look, I know that's a good choice. Good choice of guitar.
Well,
but,
I'll tell you what.
I looked up on the internet. You know, all the amazing 12-string electric things. Of course, Led Zeppelin, Stairway.
Yes.
I can't play that. Sorry, no good for that. And listening to them, this is one day.
We're not allowed to play it in the shops anymore.
No. We should make that one of my goals. You know, like Alan managed to teach me that rock and roll, Rick. But and I looked up what is the greatest 12-string lick of all time. And there was
the Birds.
The Birds absolutely wins the popular competition.
Yes.
But for me, and tell us your greatest love of a 12-string lick.
Yes.
Glenn Campbell gets a lot. Right?
Glenn Campbell is was an unbelievable guitar player. It's incredible.
And the history of the 12-string is fascinating. It's the blues players needing a louder guitar.
But so Nigel, give us a couple of chords, and I'll play a bit.
I'll give you because.
Oh yes.
Supertramp.
Oh.
A bit of.
Yeah, give yourself.
So it goes. We've got to appreciate is there's no pedals on this.
Just lovely.
That is just native 12-string brilliance coming out.
There's something special about going back to the good old amps. It's been so long.
So when you just do simple, kind of like an A70.
Yes.
You play along to this one. So I'm going to go A to B.
A to B.
You know,
yes.
and that's sort of a, it's an A minor shape with
A minor to B minor.
I'm going to use the F shape screwed up. I'm going to use the A.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Oh, it's no. Where am I? There.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds good. That.
I gotta get it right. It's actually, it's an A7.
That sounds like
A minor 7.
Yes, A minor 7
with a sus on it, with a.
Oh yeah.
And I added that bottom string.
That's a beautiful chord.
That's a gorgeous chord.
They're the sorts of. That's a 12-string chord. God damn it.
Yeah, precisely. So.
Oh, I have the mic. It's still. I have the SM50s off.
Yeah.
But I had the room mics on.
And it sounded all right.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
I like
that. So this is a work of art guitar. It's also. It's in mint condition. It still has the plastic on the pickguard and the pickups. That's how mint this guitar is.
It's incredible.
And,
it's incredible.
Yeah, look, it just makes the most beautiful sound. But
and it's being for a Japanese guitar. A lot of them come in and they stink of smoke. Not as bad as the infamous Wee Wee Hunt case,
which could not be fixed.
2018.
We tried and we could not fix it.
No. But they all smell of smoke because. Even in Japan, I don't know, I haven't been there in a while, but I was there maybe 7 or 8 years ago and still still people were allowed to smoke indoors. I'll show you a trick. If you're re-popping,
on one of those.
Hold the end of the lead.
Like that.
Or
like that.
Like that. Kind of, if you just pinch it like that a little bit. See how I've got, not the, well, not quite that bad. Well, all right, we're good to go.
Everyone,
okay, you ready? Brace yourself. 1, 2, 3.
Brace yourself, Brenda.
That was pretty good. That sounds like one of my, I have another Dear Colonel.
Woo! I picked up a very loud guitar, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, so Nigel, we have one more Dear Colonel.
This is fantastic. Getting them in real time.
Yes, coming in. Just come in. Okay. Dear Colonel. It's Barnaby again.
Oh, crikey.
It's Barnaby from Fishwick in the ACT. He says, he has a riddle. He says, Sir Nigel, who's the most popular guy at the nudist colony? This is Barnaby from ACT. Who's the most popular guy at the nudist colony? No?
No idea.
Barnaby says, the one who can carry a cup of coffee in each hand and a dozen... and a dozen donuts. Barnaby, you are sneaky.
Oh, I've got a funny Barnaby Joyce story.
Yes.
So in that classic way, before we get on to the guitars I actually really wanted to play today, which is the PRS collection that you have assembled in the store. Which is,
I bought one myself.
It's in this is literally the PRS showroom at the moment, folks.
Yes.
But so what I want to do is I want to explain to you why we've got Barnaby Joyce as the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia today, and not as Michael would give us the basic technical breakdown of, well, the Australian democratic system insists that in the Labor National Party coalition we have a... No, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the core societal, techno-social reason as to why we have Barnaby Joyce.
How?
New Zealander of the Year as our Deputy Prime Minister. And the answer is...
Is he from New Zealand?
Yeah, remember he lost. He had to be ousted for a while because he had dual citizenship.
Yes.
And then the taxpayers paid $500,000 to get him back in again.
Yeah, right.
When he declined being one of us, which I'm pretty happy about.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through this because it's in your wheelhouse. So Barnaby Joyce today, the paragon of the right wing idiot, effectively. This all happened because of the Rolling Stones.
Right. So
the Rolling Stones are to blame, as much as we love them, and they're up on the board behind us as the heroes of our time, they are to blame for Barnaby Joyce.
Yes.
Here's the connection. So the 1960s, the rise of the teenager, the rise of rock and roll, and the inability of AM radio to reproduce rock and roll. So my test for you before we go on with the connections is AM versus FM. Explain that to the listeners. Why does rock and roll sound great on FM and terrible on AM?
Oh, that's a good question. Totally different band frequency.
Yep.
Which makes
richer frequency up high, 88 to 108 kilohertz.
Yes.
Or megahertz. Can't remember. Megahertz.
I also think that AM radio was the first band that they chose to use many
1930s.
many moons ago.
Yeah.
And FM is much more recent. And so the technology for the AM broadcast versus the FM broadcast was different for a long time. Now they're starting to figure things out, but
now it's all about hybrid distribution. You know, it's on every channel. You're on the internet as well.
I think when FM radio came out, and I actually remember FM radio launching in Brisbane. Can you believe
Well,
this?
no, I'm in exactly the same place because its history in Australia and New Zealand are fascinating.
And they promoted it as stereo.
Yeah, 1975.
Yeah. So for me, it's like AM is great for talkback.
Yep.
Great for mono type listening, but if you really want to listen to music, you go to the higher frequency, go to FM, and they have the stereo technology.
Yeah, so it's the amplitude versus sending a signal by making varying the space of the waves versus varying the height of the waves. So AM is the height of the waves.
Yes.
FM cleverly uses the spaces between them to get the signal through.
Yes.
Okay, so FM invented in the 30s, but it wasn't popular at all. And then music comes along, and the kids have got transistor radios, and they don't want to be with mum and dad watching the boring black and white TV in America, particularly, or hanging out with their parents listening to the radio.
Yes.
And what happens is that loses a giant audience for radio.
Yes.
So the Rolling Stones take with them all the good advertisers to the handful of FM stations for the teens. They're a big consumer audience.
Yeah.
So now you're left on AM radio with what? The boring old people.
Talkback.
And the format that they invented was talkback.
Ray Hadley.
Was talk radio. And in America, Rush Limbaugh. Or Limbaugh or Limbaugh or however the hell you say it, the man with the presidential seal of approval,
yes,
who in 1967 picks this up and becomes America's most syndicated right-wing wit. And
what year did he start?
67.
Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah,
really?
He was born. He just died. Thank goodness.
Did he?
Born in the early 50s, so he's a young man. Like in mid-20s, he becomes a shock jock, conservative right-wing talk radio guy.
I didn't know he'd been around that long. I didn't even know he died.
I'm very happy about that. So what we see is this splitting because of rock and roll, and particularly because of the bass guitar and the lower frequency of this guy and the way rock and roll and all those kind of things work.
Yes.
Boom. Now you've got the kids going that way. The boomers they weren't boomers in those days. The old folk going that way, just winding each other about conservative politics.
Yes.
Then so then you get Fox, then you get Sky.
Yes.
And you get an idiot like Barnaby.
Sad. And Sky After Dark.
Unbelievable, and so it was 1975 before you got FM here in Australia, because the government made a bit of a blunder. This is another classic Australian technology blunder, like the distance between the Queensland railway lines and the New South Wales railway lines being different. The gauge in every state was different.
The width.
Yep. That was the 1860s equivalent of the NBN.
So how did they fix that now? I'm guessing.
No,
they've never fixed it.
They've never got the business case together.
How do you?
What do you think? There's just all these brilliant towns at the borders of our states. Is where they stop the freight and put it onto another carriage. Lots of jobs.
Wow.
So you messed it up.
Need an engineer.
So 75, you finally got it. So what happened was I
was there in 75. We'd moved from Canada, so I'll take the blame.
Yeah, the Australian government sold the top end of the FM frequency.
Yes.
The VHF frequency, the 100 to 108.
Yes, that's way up there.
They sold it to the TV stations and reserved it for the TV.
Do you know, I have a question for you, Sir Nigel. Do you know which frequency you can talk to the space station on?
No.
you're almost there. It's 144 megahertz.
Right, and is that UHF?
That is UHF. It's yes.
You got a license in this. You should know this.
I can tell you, I don't have it. It's 6 meters. 6 meters or 144 megahertz.
That's a big wave.
So, yeah, but the only way you can do it is to use a repeater. So basically, you point you get on your radio on 144 megahertz, talk to another station in Australia, a repeater, and that beams your signal up to the space station. You can chat to them. Oh, all right, back to guitars. I'm going to switch.
Let's get some guitars.
Okay.
Oh man, it's so loud. I've got
It's a big one.
Tell me what I've got.
You've got a PRS. Excuse me. You've got a PRS 594. 594. Now I haven't even tuned it, but
I have.
Oh, okay. I haven't tuned this. Got any more of those wonderful chord progressions?
I love B and A.
B and A. All right.
Let's go into the rock and roll house now. Because
Okay, let's go rock and roll. Or say hello to some folks. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go.
That twangs, man. That twangs. What have you got your hands on there?
I have a. Sorry, I'll flick that on. I have. It's got the. No, it's me.
We're humming this morning.
I have a Fender Mike Landau custom shop.
Okay, so it's the custom shop for custom shops.
It is, and yeah, this is sold. Alan, if you're watching, I'm sorry I had to say.
Yeah, wouldn't be to you, would it?
It was to me, but no, I've moved it on.
The Colonel is never selling this guitar.
But yeah, this is kind of cool. This is modeled after his '68 original Strat. It's got a nice U-neck on it. And it's not a huge neck. It's lovely. It's got the old radius, a 7 1/4 with big frets in it, because he likes that vintage radius. So yeah, a lot of fun to play. And you were on a, I mean, pretty much PRS's attempt at
so
Les Paul.
PRS's everywhere. Tell me, yes. Paul Reed Smith. Did he make guitars for someone else?
He's one of the rare examples of someone who started in their bedroom without a history of working for any of the big guitar companies. So I think that's right.
Not a luthier or
because well, he's pretty good at it, but
he's always high end though.
He's always fairly high end. And the thing is that most guitar brands that do reasonably well, outside of Fender and Gibson, have someone behind the wheel who worked at Fender and Gibson.
Oh, so often.
So like Sir Guitars, Tom Anderson worked at Schecter and all this sort of stuff. But I'm not sure Paul Reed Smith has that pedigree. But he made a couple of homebrew guitars and took them to a Santana gig.
Right.
And followed Santana around. Carlos. And wanted him to play this guitar. And of course, Carlos on the LSD, the Dragon, just went, yeah, man. And the rest is history, so yes. Lots
of models over time, and I know he does make a line of them in Asia, but the expensive ones are American, aren't they?
Yes, so he has the SE line, which it was in Korea, I reckon.
Well,
the
famous place for making guitars.
Yeah. Nigel, I'm just going to say hello. I've forgotten about our...
oh, it's terrible of us.
I know.
Terrible.
Chris Macris says, good morning, gents. I see a 12-string.
Yeah.
You do.
You did indeed.
Les Paul Gibson is on. Good morning.
Nothing for him this morning?
Yeah. Dwayne Jenkins. Hello, Dwayne Jenkins.
Dwayne.
Is anyone in New South Wales? Anyone? I want to see how you're going
Anyone
up there.
locked down?
Oh,
they're not
my
allowed to
God.
say lockdown, Colonel. No. Oh, the humour on the internet
What's
over
going on up
Gladys
there?
avoiding the word
Yeah.
lockdown, because that's what Labor-led communist states like Victoria have. We have lockdowns. It's a confinement order.
It's funny to see the right wingers sort of in a kerfuffle about this sort of stuff, because they're all free market, and yet you could have some deaths up there. Dwayne Jenkins, hello. I'm going to like some of these. David Ray, who sent in that wonderful message before about Michael.
The anonymous message.
The anonymous message.
Yep, it was anonymous.
Les Paul Gibson, I'm thinking of getting a Telecaster American Professional 2 in a dark night colour. Dark of night. I actually had a professional in here, a Fender Professional.
Yep.
And
guitar.
And it was pretty good. They're pretty good value. Scott Walker says, "Who's Sir Nigel's tailor? He has the best T-shirts."
This one, actually, this one is a story, because I love a T-shirt, and it was my last time I travelled. So long ago, Colonel. 2019. Can you remember that? And I went to the States, and I had on my mind I wanted to go to Norman's Rare Guitars, and I wanted to, and I was in San Francisco visiting friends, and Real Guitars came up in the Google search. I'm thinking, that sounds like a fabulous place, and they're renowned for that.
Yes.
Talk about like classic South of Market, dangerous neighbourhood. And I went in there, and honestly, it was the smallest, dirtiest, most bizarre, the black books of guitar stores. And I just kind of like, I do not have the cred here, I'm not on drugs. But then I looked up, and there was their row of T-shirts, and I said, it's a sign, because that is the most gorgeous logo. It is really beautiful.
Very cool. Now, so Nigel, we've had another Dear Colonel come in
while we were chatting. Fantastic.
Dear Colonel, if you've just joined us, we have a new segment. It's called Dear Colonel, and you can write in.
I'm going to swap guitars.
Yeah, go the swap. Okay.
Sorry about that, Colonel.
Be careful there. This is from Dan in Mornington Peninsula.
Oh,
Dan.
yeah.
Does anyone know a Dan?
Dan? No.
In Mornington Peninsula? I'll just wait till so Nigel inserts his thing.
I'm confused, Colonel. I've got Piezo Mix Mag. What do I want to do?
Go the non-Piezo. Yeah.
Ready? Sorry.
Ooh, all right, we're down. Dan from Mornington.
Oh, okay.
Dan from Mornington says, "What's the difference between kinky and perverted?" Dan from Mornington.
Oh, what advice have you got from Colonel?
Well, no, he's actually given us the answer.
That's good.
Dan from Mornington, he said, "I hurt my back recently." He says, "Kinky is when you tickle your girlfriend with a feather. Perverted is when you use the whole bird." Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Dan from Mornington, that's shocking.
So I picked up another PRS, and I love this one because it's so light.
Alan's on.
Oh my goodness.
On.
So that was a McCarty 594 named after Ted McCarty.
That's correct.
Executive at the Gibson Company.
He was the Gibson executive for many years. And you might know this, I can't remember, or Michael Ray has actually come in and said SE guitars are now made in Indonesia.
Okay, well they've got some Samak and all those guys.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing better. He might have better information, but so Ted McCarty.
Yep.
Gibson. And somehow, and I'm not sure how, but his name ends up on PRS, and they're making.
Someone can tell us how that happened.
Write in and tell us. Now, what else?
It's not an artist guitar, is it? I'm obsessed by artist guitars because of the Joe Bonamassa, and now the Noel Gallagher Gibson J150 also out this week.
What's going on there?
So it's a replica of Noel's acoustic.
Yes.
$4,500.
Yes.
And I mean, I guess it is custom shop in that sense. It's a
$4,500.
$4,500 for an acoustic, folks.
That's pretty good, though. Well, I think that's okay.
I mean, it wasn't a high end.
Where is it made?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Noel Gallagher signature acoustic. Where is it made? Which company?
It's Gibson.
It's a Gibson.
Gibson J150, yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's Gibson, it's made in the US. Actually, compared to, like, we have a J45 here at the moment, second hand.
Yeah.
That someone's trying to get in. Second hand, we've got 3.5 on it. So new. So that kind of makes sense. That's in the Gibson zone.
I shouldn't complain about that. Who listen, man, I'll put this question out to you.
Okay.
So, if there was an artist today,
yes,
like popular today, like the Lovefish, for example,
yeah,
and they were pretty renowned for having a great guitar player, whose would you collect? And I'll give you a starter for 10. Mine would be St. Vincent's.
Oh, I like St. Vincent.
Because she's on the cusp of absolute, memorialised forever brilliance. Great new album.
Yes, killer. And, unbelievable.
So she was probably one of the youngest people to have a guitar in that show I went to at the Met in New York with the all the guitar and rock collection stuff.
I would have loved to go.
So anything that her hands have touched, I would be very happy with.
Man, me too.
Brett Kingman had one of her guitars, the high-end ones. Yeah.
Oh, well, she's I mean, apart from being lovely to the eye. That sounds like my grandfather from 250 years ago. She's lovely to the eye.
Yep.
Brilliant songwriter, singer, performer, marketer. Very cool. I saw her on, was it Saturday Night Live? Might have been recently, and she was doing her new single.
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home, that's it. Super cool. I love you, St. Vincent.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I know.
Okay, so what have I chosen? This one is super light.
It's super light. That's
full
a
hollow body. No,
PRS hollow. It is.
Look, right inside.
Yes, sir.
All the way down there.
Yep, full hollow body.
Yep. Also has a piezo pickup. What the hell is a piezo pickup?
Oh man, someone write into. I mean, I'm definitely not good with that sort of stuff. But it's more of an
is the piezo
acoustic.
pickup?
It's hidden underneath there somewhere. It's like a kind of a pickup for an acoustic guitar.
Inside an electric guitar.
So you can get. You can
convincing?
actually.
Does it do a convincing version of a?
Yes, it does. The cool thing about these is you could run a stereo system, right? So playing live. So you've got the two. I think it's got the two input outputs there. So
it's got the two and a battery, which obviously drives the active piezo pickup.
Possible. I'm only a recent convert to PRS now. Alan,
who's got one?
He's probably just getting home right
All
about
my
now.
mates have one. Like one of them.
Has he got a PRS? Have you got a PRS, Alan?
I think he does.
Ooh.
So Jani, who's a former colleague and Battle of the Bands winning guitarist for the REA group, he got a Luke, a PRS Luke.
Ooh, yes.
Was just arrived in the country.
Wait a second, hang on.
Is that a
PRS Luke or...
No.
Was it an
Ernie Ball
Luke?
Is it Steve Lukather? Oh man.
Yeah. If it's a Lukather, it'll be Ernie Ball.
So it's about artist custom guitars this week. Custom artist guitars.
Oh my goodness.
Have you got something fancier than just a plain old Fender to show us?
I have a custom artist guitar right here.
Goodness for that.
The lovely buzz. I love amps.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Woo. Okay. I may need to tune this actually, but this is an Andy Wood signature Telecaster made by Sir
Andy Wood.
Andy Wood. Now Andy Wood.
Is he from the Police? Where's he from? No, different Andy.
Different Andy. He is from the US. I think he's based in Nashville or Austin.
Yep.
Maybe Austin. And he is just a shredder extraordinaire. But he got his kick-off playing, I think he's playing mandolin with his dad or something. So he's got all those he's got fantastic country licks. It's unbelievable. But he can also shred like a monster.
Right.
So he has a deal with Sir.
Yep.
And here we are right here.
Well, we know shredding and Telecasters goes way back because
yes, sir.
That is the original Jimmy Page.
Yes, and they've released that Jimmy Page Telecaster. There's a custom shop version.
It looks awful.
Not the whole dragony.
Not the dragon?
LSD looking one. No, there's like a straight white one.
Oh, that you can put mirror circles on.
Well, there's that one too. I think he's got two like entry level ones that are made in Mexico, I think, and then there's a super high level one, which has nothing. It's just straight white,
and that's $1 million probably.
It's $1 million.
Yeah, Jimmy Page artist guitar.
Nigel, should we play? Have you got any more of those cool chord progressions?
Look, I've got a bit of a country. I don't know if it's rock and roll enough for you, but I do love. A minor to C.
A minor to C. I love it.
I love it. That's one of my favourites.
Let's do it.
You know. That does sound shreddy.
It's kind of shreddy.
You got pedals on that?
No, I'm straight into a Fender Blues Junior today.
What? No way.
They're quite hot, these pickups. I might use this when Alan comes in. Yeah. Oh, they're beautifully made.
Set up low like I like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, how much is this? Just as a weird.
Fives, mid to high fives. Yeah. So
I do have the knack of choosing the most expensive guitar in the shop. Don't
you
I?
do well. It's hard to avoid it at the moment. We've kind of had a price point level increase over the last 12 months or something.
You've leveled up.
So Nigel, we've got another. If you've just tuned in, we have a new segment.
Yep.
It's called
Ask the Colonel.
Dear Colonel, Ask the Colonel. And normally I'll just handball it to Nigel.
Yeah. This is a personal one. They're all yours, mate.
It's a personal one. Okay. So we have a Michael from Vermont.
Okay.
Michael from Vermont writes, if two vegans get in a fight, is it still considered a beef? Okay.
I think he might be tricking us there for sure.
Yes.
Now I'm noticing I'm a bit jealous. So I've been practicing my rhythm guitar, and so I finally took the advice of my Lovefish playing lovely son, who's a bass player and pretty strict about his rhythms, to actually play with a TikTok all the time.
Oh, that's the best thing you can do.
Not a TikTok like a TikTok, which the young people have.
Or TikTok.
Although I'll tell you what, I've had an observation of that because I've needed to do some research into it for my work. And all the good TikToks end up on Instagram Reels, so I didn't have to download TikTok, the thing.
Yeah.
And there's a real interesting bias away from guitar music.
Yes.
In those 10 to 15 second amygdala enhancing TikTok addictive videos. And I'm really curious as to why there isn't more guitar in them. And
what's the time limit?
It's like 15 seconds. You've
15 seconds.
You've got, you know, and most of them are maybe 5, and then they repeat. But this is it's just a magnificent form of human communication. I'm in awe of it.
What's the take up on TikTok versus something like Instagram?
Instagram had the benefit of the kind of the shoulder effect of people falling off Facebook and down onto Instagram.
Yeah.
But they're similar.
Okay.
And TikToks are definitely leaning towards the younger consumer generation, but there's very little guitar, and the only one I can really say has made some cut, because it's all about, it's the rap music that gets the bam, bam, bam. It's all about that frequency modulation we talked about. It's like,
that rap music.
Fill the Wires Up is a song called White Lies, which has, it's a very, very good player, an American guy. And it's seriously worth looking up his song on YouTube. It's a great, he's a serious music. He does the weirdest thing on one of his live versions of, it's an acoustic song with a solo done on a Strat electrical. He pulls it on over the top of the acoustic. He's got the 2 guitars there so he can swap back.
In 15 seconds.
And then the 15 seconds or the 10 seconds that everyone grabs is this beautiful line that's entered popular language now as well, which is going, I'm picking up pretty... what is it? Pretty
young things.
No.
PYT. That's called.
That's how much I listen to TikTok in reality.
In the Ariana Grande song, she uses the word. Or is it Ariana Grande?
Sketch. That's what it is. I'm picking up pretty sketch vibes.
Oh.
And that's it. It's like it's 2 chords, and then I'm picking up pretty sketch vibes. And that is the guitar song that's taken over TikTok.
I don't think
one out of against all the rappers. So go, you good thing.
Oh my god!
And then maybe we should write it. We need to write this kind of 10-second chunk of a song that TikTokers can use. I don't know if they get money for it. That's a question I got for the internet.
That's interesting.
Do the artists get any credit, or is it so short as a sample they don't?
If you made it yourself and people are streaming it millions of times, you should get some sort of...
I'm going to guess it's just put out to advertising.
Can you monetize on TikTok?
Oh, people are making a lot of money, yes, through ads and sponsorship.
Wow. I find that, now I'm switching back to this is my 250-year-old grandpa.
Yep.
I find, Nigel, that if I look at the tiny little snippets of information, I can't sleep. Yeah, I can't sleep.
And that's chemically proven. It's basically triggering your amygdala over and over and over, giving you all the good drugs, the adrenaline. You're never going to sleep if you're going to watch Reels or TikTok before bed.
No.
Don't do it. Read something boring instead.
No, I know. I have a lot of trouble with the YouTube.
Yeah.
The YouTube, as my 250-year-old grandfather
anyway,
said.
so the TikTok thing has been good for me, just realising, oh my goodness, I must be awful to play with because I do go out of time quite quickly. It sounds great in my ear, but a company. But so now, you know what, the rest of this year is going to be devoted to, I've kind of got a bit better on that.
Yes.
I need to learn one thing a week better than a pentatonic scale.
Ooh, learn the major scale,
so let's go. I mean, definitely A is my favourite scale.
I'll tell you what, how about this? If you know a pentatonic scale...
I do, and I'll show you.
Where do you want to play it? There we go. All right, well, let's just add.
Let's just add me some notes.
Add me some notes.
So when Alan comes around, he goes, oh, okay. And he uses all those fancy words like mixolydian and...
Drinks all your booze.
Of course. Still remains a better player by a factor of 1,000.
So... here's my pentatonic scale, which I think you played it in A.
Yep, it's my favourite. Yep.
So let's add in, okay, if I'm looking at the 2 highest in pitch strings, so our normal pentatonic scale, let's just call it as tab, it would be 5/8.
Yep.
5/8. Let's add 7 and 7 in. There you go. You don't even have to add them here.
That suddenly sounds very Santana.
Yes, it is very Santana. Oh, yeah, up here. I can't do it. But it is quite Santana. That almost gives you the Dorian scale.
I don't need many extra notes, I've discovered. You know, I don't need to know the whole thing.
This Andy Wood is killer. I've been down this evil road before with Andy Woods. Man.
Oh, there is some of those
There's some speed. So there you have, right, there's your normal scale.
Yep.
But now you've got a B and an F sharp. You are adding the B and the F sharp to an A minor pentatonic scale. Now you can play those here as well if you want to, but if you don't want to, just start slow and add 2 extra notes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then next week, add another 2. There you go. So now I'll play an A minor chord for you, and you play that scale.
I'll just use those top bits.
There you go. Add those, add those extra notes.
Oh, that does sound lovely.
Hello.
There it is. That's some two.
Oh,
how
man.
much? So each note's $10. That's
Each note is $10.
okay. $20 for
Kinda
today's
cool.
lesson.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we
It's
have some folks on. How are we
We
going
do.
for time? Oh my God!
We're pretty
it's
much
10
done
o'clock.
for time, Colonel.
I think we're done for time. If we haven't said, oh, here we are. Okay. Alan, Rob Manger is on. Do you know Rob Manger?
He's got a PRS or had one.
Did he?
Oh, he wanted one. No,
He definitely wanted one.
He wanted one with it was a semi-hollow. It's on his list, but he had another child instead. So,
Alan Leslie.
how's that going, Rob?
Yeah. How are you?
You slept yet?
Yeah. You enjoying that? Man, because I just loved having a child at 45. Oh, wow. It really... No. Of course I do. Alan Leslie is on. We all know Alan. Alan, is Nigel going to buy a PRS?
Well,
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, they make me sound good, Alan, and that's my number one criteria.
They're kind of cool.
Has to make me sound better.
Glenn Daly says, when is Alan Leslie releasing a limited edition signature guitar? When is Alan Leslie going to... Okay. We might have to talk about it. I think Alan is coming in for a beer show this afternoon. I don't know what time it's going to be on, because I think it's going to be a crazy
He's
day.
very much an Eddie Van Halen signature guitar guy. I think that'd be his dream guitar, is a Frankenfurter or whatever you called them. Frankenstrat.
Glenn Daly says, Alan, you're a better guitar player than Noel Gallagher. That's definitely true. Rob Manger says, tiring. He says it's very tiring. Now, we might... Sorry, I've just had...
I'm sounding like so jazzy, I can't resist those two extra notes,
cool.
Colonel.
I love those extra notes.
Right.
We've had another one. Last one for the day.
And then we're off, folks.
Okay.
Lovely to see you all. Thanks for coming to the show. Who's written into us this time, Colonel? Is it...
It's Alan from South Bank.
South Bank, okay.
Alan from South Bank, from the
Can't imagine
Eureka building.
Who could that be?
Alan says, what did the leper say to the sex worker? Keep the tip. Oh my God.
That's terrible. You'll have to mute me, Colonel.
Okay,
It's
we gotta
literally
mute.
humming so
Whoa.
damn loud from these
All right.
amplifiers.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's still not working. So I've got to put it back in again.
Oh, there you go.
Just to shut it up.
Oh, just hang on to it. There you go. All right.
Unbelievable. Let's show these guitars off.
Let's do it. Oh, we didn't even get to the Sir... Speaking of artist guitars, that's a Sir Matthias Asato is in here.
Oh,
You like that? Come on down.
Maybe we have a
'cause I
Sir
like it
show
all.
next time.
Oh, Sir would be good.
I've got
Just Sir with love.
PRS, and the Magical. I wish I could buy it because it's so magical, but I can't play it properly because it does require some
12-string.
skill. The 12-string Fender.
I can't even pick up all the guitars.
All the guitars. It's been a guitar show. That's what it's about. Shootin'
Good to
The
be back.
Strings.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm away for a couple of weeks, so I don't know.
No
Probably.
show for you. Watch some old ones.
Yeah, watch some old ones. 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be back. So.
140 shows. I can't wait for 150, Colonel.
Oh my God! I
be
can't
fun.
believe we've done so many. That's awesome. If you really want a laugh, go back and look at the first 1 or 2 where we're in shorts.
Yeah, maybe don't.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Sir Nigel. Always a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thank you for
It's
coming.
coffee time, I believe,
Words.
Colonel.
It is. It definitely is. All right, we're out of here, folks. Thanks for watching. We love you. Might see you a bit later. Bye for now.
Ciao.
This episode of Shootin' The Strings is proudly brought to you by the Guitar Colonel. For the best vintage and used guitars in Australia, visit www.guitarcolonel.com.